Have you ever wondered when attraction actually turns into love? It doesn't always happen during a romantic date. Sometimes it happens during the most ordinary moment. A simple conversation, a random laugh, a quiet evening together, or even a moment when you're far apart. At first, you may simply enjoy someone's company. You like talking to them. You look forward to seeing them. You find yourself curious about their life. But then, slowly, something changes. You start thinking about them when they're not around. Their happiness begins to matter to you. You want to tell them about the little things that happen during your day. And eventually, you realize this person isn't just someone you like anymore. They've become emotionally important to you. So what actually happens inside the mind when someone realizes they're falling in love? Let's explore the psychological signs behind that powerful emotional shift. Chapter 1. It begins with curiosity. Before love develops, there is often curiosity. You want to know everything about this person. What makes them happy? What are their dreams? What are they afraid of? What kind of childhood did they have? What do they think about when they're alone? You begin paying attention to details that wouldn't normally matter. You remember small things they've said. You notice changes in their mood. You become interested in their stories. This is often where emotional attraction begins. You're no longer interested only in how they look or how they make you feel. You want to understand who they really are. And the more you discover, the more emotionally invested you become. Chapter 2. You start thinking about them without trying. One of the clearest changes happens inside your own mind. You don't intentionally think about them. They simply appear. You're working, and suddenly you remember something they said. You're listening to a song, and it reminds you of them. You're walking through a familiar place, and a memory appears. This happens because the brain creates associations between emotionally meaningful people and everyday experiences. The more important someone becomes, the more connections your brain creates around them. Eventually, they become part of your mental world, even when they're physically absent. And that's when you may realize, I think about this person much more than I expected. Chapter 3. Their happiness starts to matter. This is one of the biggest differences between simple attraction and deeper love. Attraction often focuses on what someone makes you feel. Love gradually becomes about what you want that person to feel. You begin caring about whether they're having a good day. You want them to succeed. You worry when they're struggling. You feel genuinely happy when something good happens to them. Their happiness becomes emotionally connected to your own. You don't simply want to receive something from them. You want to give something back. And that shift can be a powerful sign that your feelings are becoming deeper. Chapter 4. You begin feeling safe around them. Love isn't only about excitement. It's also about safety. At some point, you stop feeling like you have to impress this person. You can be yourself. You can admit when you're wrong. You can talk about embarrassing experiences. You can share your fears. You can even sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable. This emotional safety is extremely important. When you feel accepted by someone, your brain begins associating that person with comfort and security. They become someone you can relax around. And sometimes, that's when attraction becomes something much deeper. Chapter 5. Their imperfections don't make you lose interest. At the beginning of attraction, people often see the best version of each other. Everything seems exciting. You notice their strengths. You overlook their weaknesses. But eventually, reality appears. You notice their annoying habits, their insecurities, their bad moods, their imperfections. And something interesting happens. Instead of suddenly losing interest, you begin accepting the complete person. You understand that they're not perfect, but you still want to know them. You still care about them. This doesn't mean ignoring unhealthy behavior. It means recognizing that genuine affection is different from idealization. Infatuation often loves an image. Deeper love learns to appreciate a real person. Chapter 6. You start imagining them in your future. This can be one of the biggest turning points. You start thinking about the future, and they're naturally part of the picture. You imagine taking a trip together, celebrating important moments, meeting each other's families, building a home, supporting each other through difficult periods. You may not even consciously decide to imagine these things. Your brain simply begins including them. That's because emotionally important people become part of the way we mentally represent our future. You're no longer thinking only about what happens tomorrow. You're beginning to imagine what life could look like with them. Chapter 7. They're the first person you want to tell. Something funny happens. You immediately want to tell them. You achieve something important. You want them to know. You have a terrible day. You want to hear their voice. This is a surprisingly powerful sign. When someone becomes emotionally significant, they often become one of the first people we want to share experiences with. They become part of our emotional routine, not because we have to tell them everything, but because sharing life with them feels natural. Chapter 8. Their opinion starts to matter. Another subtle change happens when their opinion becomes important to you. You may ask what they think. You may value their advice. You may wonder how they see a particular situation. Their perspective carries more weight because you trust them. This doesn't mean becoming dependent on their approval. Healthy love doesn't require you to lose your independence. Instead, it means you've decided that this person's perspective is meaningful to you. And that usually happens because they have become meaningful to you. Chapter 9. You start missing them during ordinary moments. Missing someone isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's incredibly simple. You see a restaurant and think they'd love it. You hear a joke and wish they were there. You see something beautiful and immediately want to share it with them. You don't only miss them when you're lonely. You miss them while you're enjoying life. That's an important difference. It means you don't simply want them to fill an emotional void. You want them to be part of your experiences. Chapter 10. You begin choosing we over me. As emotional attachment becomes stronger, your thinking can gradually change. Instead of asking only, "What do I want?" you sometimes begin asking, "What would be good for us?" You consider their feelings when making decisions. You think about how your choices affect the relationship. You become more willing to communicate and compromise. This doesn't mean sacrificing your identity. It means creating space for another person in your life. And that is often one of the foundations of commitment. Chapter 11. The realization can happen in a very ordinary moment. Perhaps the most fascinating part is that the moment someone realizes they're falling in love may not be dramatic at all. It could happen while you're laughing together, while you're sitting quietly, while you're helping each other with something simple, or while you're apart. Maybe they have a difficult day and suddenly realize you're the person they want beside them. Maybe something wonderful happens, and you're the first person they want to call. Maybe they look at you during an ordinary moment and suddenly understand, this person matters to me. There may be no dramatic confession, no perfect movie scene, just a quiet realization. And that realization can change everything. It's important to understand the difference between infatuation and love. Infatuation can feel incredibly powerful. You may think about someone constantly. Chapter 12. Love is more than intense attraction. It's important to understand the difference between infatuation and love. Infatuation can feel incredibly powerful. You may think about someone constantly. You may feel excited whenever they message you. You may idealize them. But love usually becomes more grounded with time. It includes attraction, but also trust. It includes excitement, but also peace. It includes desire, but also genuine care. And perhaps most importantly, it survives reality. When the excitement fades, the connection doesn't necessarily disappear. Instead, it can become deeper. Final thoughts. So, when does someone realize they're falling in love? It may happen when they realize they miss you, when your happiness begins to matter, when they feel safe enough to show you their vulnerable side, when they naturally include you in their future, or when you're simply the person they want to tell everything to. Love rarely arrives as one dramatic moment. More often, it grows through hundreds of small experiences. A conversation, a shared laugh, a difficult day, a comforting silence, a thoughtful message, a moment of vulnerability. And eventually, those moments create something much bigger. Someone who was once a stranger becomes part of your emotional world. You don't simply enjoy their presence, you value it. You don't simply think about them, you begin making space for them. And that's perhaps the most fascinating part of falling in love. Sometimes you don't realize you're falling until you look back and understand that somewhere along the way, their happiness became important to you. Their presence became comforting. Their absence became noticeable. And their place in your life became difficult to imagine losing. That's when attraction may have quietly transformed into love. If you've ever experienced this kind of emotional shift, share your story in the comments. And if you enjoy psychology, love, relationships, and fascinating facts about human behavior, don't forget to subscribe for more psychology amazing facts.